What's going on, listeners? It's your boy Herc in the building once again, and we're here with another episode of the Come On Man podcast, Ep.7, Season 2. And we got a special guest in the building today, my boy Alex, Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee Ninja.
Hey.
The Tennessee Ninja, man. He's on the podcast today. His special traits are he's a father, a mentor, powerlifting coach, and he works for a tech company in IT in healthcare, and he's super dope. Hey. And I want to introduce my boy. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, dude. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that. I might change the name to Tennessee Ninja. That sounds
Yeah, man. So how's everything been going, man? How's everything been going?
It's been going great, dude. Life's been amazing. Just been working, coaching, being a dad. Life is just busy. It seems like the older you get, the busier it gets.
Yeah. You can scoot up the mic a little bit more. There you go.
Here, better.
Bam.
You like that?
Oh yeah.
All right. But don't make eye contact. That makes it weird.
Yeah, so you said life and everything's been good and stuff?
Yeah, man. Just been chilling. Been coaching a lot, working on my career, and then being a father. My kid's, man, 16 now. He's learning to drive. I'm buying him a car next summer. Like, he's, it's crazy. It's crazy to see, like, you bringing your kid up from, like, not knowing anything to now, like, hey, this is it. This is life. Like, I did everything I could, and now it's all up to you. And,
yeah.
Like, you set them free, kick them out the nest, so to speak.
Yeah, man. So what about how did the journey of you being a young dad, how did that all come about?
Man, I really learned, you know how they say it takes a village? Like, it definitely does take a village, man. When I was 18, I had him at 18 when I was crossing the stage as getting my high school diploma. Mm-hmm. My girl went into labor, and he was here that day. So it was like, dude, I remember my dad looking at me, and he was like holding my son, and we're all crying and shit. It's all emotional. And he was like, you're going to have to grow up overnight. This kid needs you now. It's no longer like you about you. It's about like this kid needing a mentor and someone to look up to, and you got to be that person. And I was like, damn, that's the first time I was like, oof, it hit me. Yeah. Like, you're not a kid anymore.
Yeah, man, I understand the whole situation being a father. I had the same situation, but not in high school. It happened like when I was like 25 and stuff. And we didn't plan it. We were just kind of being freaky.
Yep.
And one thing happened and another thing happened. And then one day she got sick or whatever. And then she was like, oh, I need to go to the hospital and
Morning
stuff.
Sickness?
Yeah. I was like, okay. When we went to the emergency room, they put her in the wheelchair. They took her to the back, and she came right back out. And she was like, I'm pregnant.
Oh.
I was like, oh, shit.
How'd you take the news? Ain't nobody ever ready for that.
No. Because I know I was sitting in the waiting room. I was just chilling like, they're going to give her some medicine.
And, yeah. I'm going to play some Xbox when I get back home. Like, it was cool.
Yeah. So, but they came back, she pregnant. And then I kind of like leaned back in the chair, and I put my hand on my forehead, and I was like, fuck. My life is not set right now. And
dude.
And at that moment, I lost my job too.
Shit. Yeah.
I lost my job. So I was just kind of like, what I'm gonna do. And then her mom was there, and she wasn't making the situation better. Like, what you gonna do?
Y'all are responsible. You better put a ring on it.
Yeah, you gotta put a ring on it. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I do.
You can't take care of a baby. What? I'm like, I'm new to the game too, so it's like I'm trying to figure it out. And then I was like, man, I don't know what to do.
I was like, man, I can't even take care of myself. I was 18. Can you imagine? Like, dude, I had my first job. I worked at like Super Salad and GameStop, and like, just making tips and stuff. Like, I was just saving enough money to buy an Xbox. So the next game they came out, like, now I'm saving money to buy diapers. And like,
yeah, man. Yeah, it's real, man. So it was a big 360.
Yep.
And it was a battle too with the mama and her family and stuff, and it just kind of made everything kind of harder. But I kind of persevere the whole situation, because I learned a lot of skills and a lot of traits and a lot of things,
bro,
to make me a better father. And now I just kind of ignore their ass at the family and the mother and stuff like that. And then when I left her in 2020, because we had an incident where we disagreed on a lot of stuff, and I blacked out and lost character.
Dang.
And
Bro, I'm gonna interview you, bro. Let's get this story going. Give me some more details. I'm sipping the tea over here.
No. But it just ended up pretty bad.
Oh shit.
Not bad where we just got in disagreement and we wasn't on good terms and shit happened and we got in a fight and it was kind of weird.
It's different, man. It's different whenever you're older and you like select that you in your head you're like, all right, we're ready for kids now, right? And you're gonna have like this partner that you're gonna be with forever.
Oh yeah.
But when you're little and you're a kid and you're out there just like, you know, being crazy, and then all of a sudden it pops up, you ain't ready for it, man.
Yeah.
I bought every book at Barnes and Noble's that day.
Damn.
About how to become a father, and I started just reading because I didn't know anything about anything. And then my parents were like, "Oh, well, we had 2 or 3 kids," and I was like, I know. I don't want to come out like that. I don't want them to come out like that either.
No, man. That just kind of that was just a different field. That was just a different field. And when that happened, I left and I went to my other house and reflected, and I was just kind of like, man, like what I'm gonna do. You know, I sat on the couch in the darkness, and I was like, damn, I fucked up. You know, and then my son was there, dude, and he was screaming and shit like that. He was like scared and saw me as a monster because I blacked out and I was just doing some random shit.
Dude. And you're a big ass dude.
Yeah.
Up the whole doorway, my dude. You know, if I was crying, I saw you in the door, I'd be like, oh, that's worse.
Yeah. So I was basically kind of like, nah, man, I gotta do better. And then I made the moves to start going in the right direction. You know, getting into powerlifting, doing the right thing. Just, you know, doing the right thing and everything that I do, like my work and whatever I like to do, I want to do it the right way and do it with all my heart. Yeah,
because you're a role model now.
Yeah, and then that kind of made the 360. So it took a while for me and my son to get along.
Like connect,
because after that situation, he didn't like trust me because he was worrying about his mom.
Yeah.
And but now we're good. Now we're good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I see my son grow up. I've learned a lot from him, man. I've learned a lot, like, I've learned that respect for him is earned and not necessarily entitled or given because you're his father or you're his grandmother or his teacher. Like, for my son, respect is really important. As long as you respect him and y'all are able to have that conversation, he'll have respect for you. But the second that he loses that, right, he's just I don't want to say annoying, but he's just, you know, entitled and like too confident. And like, you can just tell when respect is lost because he'll treat you different.
True.
Right. So it's like really important growing up that like, I didn't tell him do this and this because I say so, but I explained why, and not because I'm your father, but because it's best for you and this and that, right? Like, I hated growing up and being told like do that, and then he would ask why, and they'd be like, oh yes, because I'm your dad, that's why, right? And I was like, oh, that doesn't really teach me anything. You know, it just teaches me to resent you for making me cut the grass, you know, like So I wanted to make sure that, dude, all those baby books that I bought and read all taught me something different. And they're all different sides of the spectrum, man. Like, you need to grow up and have, I think in our generation, we're more like friends with our kids, right? It's not like father, son, like you do this because I tell you and you're afraid of me. And we kind of, you know, lead out of fear, but we lead out of example. And we say, hey, look, this is how I treat women. You see me treat my partner this way. This is how you should treat women. Instead of telling you like, hey, you know, do this and this, be a gentleman, open the door, right? Like, just lead by example. And they'll see that and be like, this is how I want to be. This is how it's supposed to be, right?
Right.
So I think it's really important to lead by example like that for my kid. And I try to do it to the best of my abilities. And when I don't, or I'm upset and I say something off the top of my head and I don't mean it, I apologize immediately. And I say, hey, look, I'm sorry. That came from a place of anger. I'm a human, and I'm getting better at controlling my emotions as well, right? And I think that goes a longer way than just being, you know, I don't know, yelling or whatever, and then never talking about it with your kid and just letting it sweep under the rug, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, man.
That makes sense, man. Yeah, I understand that, and I try to learn different traits too, and you know, like control my anger as well, because I know I don't get angry as easily. I kind of manage it as well. I only get angry if like people doing dumb stuff or whatever, and I just kind of get upset. But with him, I know he's a kid and he's like still trying to understand what's going on. And I'm like, hey, do this. And he's doing his own thing. And then I have to like enforce it. And he like, don't like that. And then I have to sit down and explain to him like, hey, the reason I'm enforcing things because I'm trying to teach you like how to be a good human, you know, take care of your responsibilities, do your chores and things like that. Cause sooner or later you're gonna be doing this yourself, you know.
Exactly, yeah, man. Authority exists, and you have to know how to like
control it.
Yeah, control it. The chain of command, right? I had a problem with my son recently where he's talking back in class to teachers and things like that.
Damn.
He has to have the last word, and that's what it is. He has to have the last word. He got caught cheating in math, right? He got caught cheating.
Come on.
He said that he got caught cheating, and he knew that it was wrong. He's like, I got caught. I admit it. I wasn't fighting that I got caught cheating. I should have done my homework yesterday, right? But once I got caught cheating, the teacher was walking away from me, and I mumbled under my breath like, man, I wish I had the teacher next door. And then the teacher got upset and was like, oh, what'd you say? Come up here, like, talk to me. Are you calling me a bad teacher? And my son's like, I didn't say that. You said that. You know, like, I didn't say those words. You assumed it, right? And his argument is like, well, she assumed it. Why couldn't she assume a positive thing? Why couldn't she assume that I wanted to have the teacher next door because she wouldn't have caught me cheating, right? Like, she was, and I was like, dude, come on. People are human. We know, like, we know these things. And he's really good at computers, right? He's really like input out, input in kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's like, you're dealing with humans, not computers. Like, they're going to assume things. They have egos. They got feelings. They have emotions, right? Like, what if she woke up on the wrong side of the bed and she just wasn't having it today?
Yeah.
You know, like, you were the last straw.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then after he got in trouble, he was like, yeah, and then the rest of the class, anytime I would take my phone out, she'd be on me. But the guy next to me had his phone out the whole time. And I was like, yeah, bro, welcome to the shit list. Yeah, like that's life teaching you lessons, bro. Yeah, you got on that person's shit list, and that exists, right?
Yeah, so she's gonna be on your ass.
He's like, well, that's not fair. Well, life's not fair, right? And you're getting taught these lessons, right? But until you struggle, you won't catch my warnings. And I tell him, like, hey, just a yes ma'am and being quiet goes a long way. But he doesn't learn that. And I told him, like, it's not until you pop off to your boss and you get fired and you're sitting at your apartment and you can't pay the light bill and the lights are cut off and you're sitting there and you're like miserable and struggling that you're going to be like, damn, dad said if I just didn't say nothing, right?
You would still have your job.
I would have paid the bills, right?
Damn, man, they got me some goosebumps.
But I'm telling you, bro, and like the struggle is real, and kids, they just don't know the struggle, right?
Yeah,
because I've given him, and I've been fortunate enough to make enough money, you know, to just give him everything he wants, and everything just comes. He doesn't really know the value of $1, and be like, hey, dad, let me get $100. It's just $100, like just $100. Like, how much you think I make an hour, my dude? You know what I mean? Like,
money don't grow on trees, my boy.
Yeah, but the second he gets a job and he's flipping burgers for $5 an hour, he gonna know them $120 jeans cost him a whole check.
Oh yeah, man.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So it's crazy, but like that's taught through life. You can't really teach those things. You know?
No, you just have to kind of go through it.
Yeah.
You kind of get, like you said, we kind of give them the warning, like, hey, watch that stove, it's hot. Oh man, you don't know what you talk about. That stop.
Yeah.
And then now they learn something like that. What we learned? Oh, not to touch the stove.
Yeah. When I was little, my mom would be like, all right, go do it again. Let me see you do it again, right? Because she knows damn well I'm not gonna do it again. But as a kid, you fall, and she'll be like, "Keep running, yeah, get up and run again. Let me see you run again." No, right. I bet you won't, right? It's like, yeah, you're right, I won't. Man,
yeah, man, it's just kind of crazy to see all this other stuff. But yeah, being a father, man, there's no instructions to it. It's just kind of learning as you go,
and nobody knows, bro. Everyone tell you they do, but nobody knows.
Nah, it's a learn as you go mentality.
Absolutely.
Like you pick up, we're still picking up things as we go.
And today in 2024, but you're one hyperlink away from messing up your kid forever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man,
it's crazy. Like, you can't do anything. So it's like you got to be cautious, but you have to like let them live their life too. You can't rule in fear and make them scared of everything. Like,
yeah.
You know, like,
they're gonna have to face some challenges along the way.
Yeah,
and just we're trying our best to get them prepared for it.
Yeah, and I told my son, like, dude, just talk to me about it, and we'll talk it out. Like, I promise. You know, like we can talk about anything, and it's a safe space, dude. Something I did with him growing up was amnesty walks. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So with my son, whenever he could talk, and he was around 5 or 6, I don't know when he could talk, right? But whenever he started talking, I would take him walks around the park, and I would say, hey, look, this is a conversation between me and you. It's an amnesty walk. No matter what you say, I won't judge you, right? If you have questions and I don't know the answers, we'll find them out together. But anything that we talk about on this walk won't leave the walk. Right? Once we get in the car, we can change the subject and never talk about it again. It's a safe space for you to ask me anything you want, right?
Damn.
I learned that in one of those baby books that I bought, And at first, he was asking me silly questions like, hey, why does ducks fly south, and why is the sky blue, and why does water taste like nothing? Just like, crazy questions. But then as he started getting older and getting more comfortable, he started asking me the real questions like, did you ever love my mom? Why did y'all break up? Right? How would you be able to love again if you loved my mom and it didn't work out? Right? my friend's Buddhist and I'm Christian. My mom's Christian. Like, who's right? You know, like big questions, bro.
Damn,
like,
that's some kid shit. Damn,
that's some big questions.
And that's coming from your son?
Yeah, and he's like, he's like 9, 10. We're walking around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here trying to get on Google. Like, how am I supposed to answer these? You know, dude, like, these are some tough questions. Dude.
Yeah, man.
But it wasn't until he got comfortable that he was able to ask me these things, man. And I do my best to, and I'm not really religious, right? Like, I don't really have a faith that I'm bound to or anything like that. So I do my best to like answer all his questions. And I'm like, dude, the answer, your friend's Buddhist and you're not. And no one knows who's right. And we'll find out in the afterlife, right? We'll find out. But yeah, man, he's been talking to me about a lot of like girls and money and investing and all these things that you shouldn't be talking about at 15. But
yeah. I'm gonna have to do that. You said amnesty walk?
Amnesty walks,
yeah. I'm gonna have to try that out.
If you do it and they ask you some wild crap, you can't overreact, because some of them questions be like, what? You know what I mean? And you gotta play it cool, you gotta play it cool, You're just
okay. Yeah.
Oh. No, you're just like, interesting question. They just stroke your brain.
You turn around like, oh my God.
Yeah. I go home and tell my girl at the house, like, man, you can't believe what he asked me today.
That's wild. That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, but you build that trust, man. You build that trust that no matter what happens, that you're not going to judge them and they're going to come to you when they're in need of help, right? Because the last thing I would want for him to be in a situation where he's like, I don't know, in trouble with the law or whatever, he made a bad decision and he has no one to go to.
Right.
Being alone, I think, is crazy, right? So I want him to know, like, I'm always here, dude. Whether we're on good terms or bad terms, like, whatever our last conversation was, like, I'm here for you.
Right.
And I think that goes a long way.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Man, but it's shit. Tell me, man, how you get the nickname Tennessee Ninja? Like, how did that come about, man?
You gonna call me Tennessee Ninja the whole time? So Tennis Shoe Ninja.
Oh, I said Tennessee.
You did say Tennessee.
Hold on, listeners.
Hey, let's pause to edit this out. Hold on.
No, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it in there. It's tennis shoe.
Tennis Shoe Ninja.
Tennis Shoe Ninja.
Yeah.
I seen your name the whole time, but I don't know why I keep calling you Tennessee.
Everyone calls me Tennis now.
I think I need to go to Tennessee.
Nah, I think you just want some whiskey. You heard that song?
That
song?
Yeah.
That make me cry every time.
Well, listeners, Tennis Shoe Ninja. Why did you get the nickname Tennis Shoe Ninja?
So, man, I had a job in the University of Houston downtown when I was like 19, 20, and it was teaching kids how to build their first computer. It was like $5,000, and it was for kids that were like from 12 to 15, and they would buy the whole package, and it would come with all the parts they needed to build a computer.
Right.
And I would take them upstairs to the technology department, and I would basically walk them through what each part did, and I had them building the computer as we learned, and it was a summer program, right? And in between our lunch breaks, we would do like different activities to give them a break. And I booted up Counter-Strike 1.6. Like it's a first-person shooter game with guns, terrorists versus anti-terrorists. And one of the kids that was in the class, he didn't like computers or gaming or anything like that. He just wanted to draw, and he was drawing comics in the back. And he was like, "Hey man, you okay if I just draw comics in the back?" And my mom forced me to do this. I hate it. I'll build a computer, but I'm not really involved. I'm not looking to. And I was like, yeah, man, like just go back there, do what you got to do, and I'll cover for you, so to speak.
All right.
And he started drawing me, and he was drawing me in a comic. And back then I was wearing Fat Farms with the matching laces, the matching shirt. You know what I mean? That was just it was just like whatever was in back then.
Right.
So he drew me as a ninja, and I had tennis shoes on, and I was the main character of his comic strip, and it was Tennis Shoe Ninja was the title of the comic strip. And yeah, man, we were playing Counter-Strike, and when I started Counter-Strike, I made my name Tennis Shoe Ninja, and then that's when Facebook and AOL Instant Messenger and Xbox Live and all those were out, and they were asking you to pick a screen name, so I just went with Tennis Shoe Ninja, dude. And it just kind of stuck from there on. That kid actually loved the class so much that he went home and told his mom how much he loved it and how much he loved playing this really violent first-person shooter game in the middle of his breaks. And I got fired immediately.
Oh, what?
Yeah, dude. They were like, "We're not paying you to teach my kid violence and play with terrorists and stuff." And we had the most fun ever, man. But it was like a bootleg copy of Counter-Strike I had pirated from like by Pirate Bay or something like that. So, dude, I got immediately fired. Never invited again.
God damn.
Yeah, but I kept that comic strip for a while. I think I lost it now, but he gave it to me at the end of the class when I got fired.
Yeah.
And they officially uninvited me to teach classes at U of H downtown. It was great. It was worth it, man. I got Tennis Shoe Ninja out of it.
Yeah, man. You got Tennis Shoe Ninja out of the mix of playing Counter-Strike?
Yeah, playing Counter-Strike with 12-year-olds, man. It was like 12, 13-year-olds. And these kids were smart, genius kids, right? The But yeah, man, I got it off of that, and then all of a sudden, like, I got fired, and I just kept Tennis Shoe Ninja on all the platforms, and it just kind of grew into.
And then people just start calling you Tennis Shoe Ninja.
I made it my Instagram name, and now people that know me in person from the gym and stuff, they just call me Tennis. So everyone will call me Tennis, and sometimes when I introduce myself to like bigger powerlifting coaches for the first time, you know, I'm just like, oh, hey, my name's Tennis, and they're like, Tennis, and I was just like, yeah, just Tennis. Is that your legal name? I was like, bro, you know damn well it's not my legal name. Who's gonna name their kid Tennis? No.
Right? Yeah, I get that when I first like try to invite you to do the Come On Man podcast. I was like, man, what the fuck is his name? What is his name? It's Tennis Shoe Ninja, and I was like, Tennis Shoe Ninja, and then I was like looking, I was like, is it what is it? I remember your name, but I forgot it, and I was like, bro. And I was like, I'm not gonna call this man Tennis Shoe Ninja. And then he go left on me on the podcast, like, why you call me Tennis Shoe Ninja? That's not my name. And I was like,
no, man, I love it. I leaned into it. I love it. Not everyone calls me Tennis. Anyone who calls me by my like government name, it's either my mom when she's upset. Like nobody else ever uses that name anymore. So when I hear it and I'm like, oh, it strikes me back. Like, oh,
yeah, I'm gonna just call you Tennis, dude.
Yeah, dude, Tennis is it, man. Yeah. For real. I have a shirt that says like, I don't play tennis. I am Coach Tennis or something like that.
Yeah, man. On my end, how I got the name Hercules.
Man, you're huge. Of course, that's how you got the name Hercules. Come on, bro.
I got the name Hercules when I was training for to go into the military.
Oh shit.
I was doing like PT workouts with all the people and trying to recruit and stuff. Yeah. And I was getting ready to go to boot camp, but the only thing I couldn't pass was the ASVAB. I suck at tests.
What is that? Oh, it's like the written test?
Yeah, it's the written test before it, to make you eligible to go to the military.
Bro, they saw you and they're like, it's okay. You don't need to do written.
I wish it was like that.
This man on the front lines, bro.
Yeah, man, I wish it was like that. But
you carrying the boats, big dog.
No, but one day we were just working out. We was doing a 3-mile run, and we was running, and we took a break because we got done, and one of the guys was like, hey, man, hey, Hercules, man. Hey, Hercules. Hey, come through. And I'm kind of looking. I'm like, who he talking to? I was like, my name not Hercules. My name is Alan. And he was like, no, man, your name Hercules, man. I was like, all right, whatever. And you know how nicknames go. You be like, oh, they just saying it and it's going to fade away and stuff.
Yeah, it's stuck.
And they just kept on calling him Hurt. Hey, Hurt.
I've never known your first name, dude, ever.
Oh, Alan?
That's the first time. You don't look like no Alan. You look like a Hercules. You don't look like no Alan.
Yeah, no, but people just start calling me Hercules, and I was like, oh, shit, it's actually sticking. So I was like, I'm just going to stick with Hercules.
Yeah, dude.
And people, I'm the same way. People don't know me by my first name. Bro. They know me like, hey, what's up, What's up, Hercules? I was like, oh, what's up, man? And they were like, wait, what's your real name? I was like, Alan.
Yeah. That's what I said. Brother, what's that?
Yeah, so that's what people like. No, I'm gonna stick with Hercules, or I'm gonna stick with Tennis. So like, nah.
So the best nicknames are given. If you ever give yourself a nickname, that's just not gonna work. And I tried it in high school. It was the cringiest thing I've ever done in my life. Back in high school, I wanted everyone to call me Big Mac.
Like Big Mac, the McDonald's?
Like the McDonald's burger. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I just thought it was so cool, and I had it on my backpack on the handles.
Oh, you was promoting it hard.
Bro, I was hard selling them. The marketing team failed, bro. I was so embarrassed. No, back then they had those belts with the letters that you put names on, right?
I remember
Big Mac on my belt, bro. No one, not to this day, not a single human being ever called me Big Mac.
Damn.
So, bro, it's some cringy shit when you're a kid, you don't know any better, you know?
Yeah, I had other nicknames besides Hercules. They like people call me like Double A, Big Al.
Oh, because Alan, Double A, that makes sense.
Yeah, Big A or things like that. It was like that kind of merged with my name, but that's people who gave me those nicknames. But the original one was like Big Al.
Dude, growing up Mexican, people are not nice with nicknames, bro. I got Gordo, I got Fatso. You got a bunch of cool ones, bro. I got Lazy. Puerco. I got a bunch of like Porky. You got.
Yeah, I was fat too. I was a fat myself. So I was huge. I was like 400 pounds.
Shit. So when was that breaking point where you're just like, I'm gonna get jacked as shit. Like I'm just gonna be big.
Middle school.
No shit.
Yeah, middle school. I wanted to do football early, like Pee Wee football.
Yeah, I could see.
But my But my mom, she's Hispanic, and she was super cheap with her money.
Your mom's Hispanic?
Yeah,
awesome,
from Honduras and stuff.
Crazy. Yeah.
So she has that Hispanic heritage where she don't spend a lot of money on what we want, but she spend a lot of money what she wants.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
how it goes.
I was like, "Hey, mom, I want to do football. I want to do PE football." She was like, "How much is it?" It's like $200. She said, "You're not doing football."
She's like, "No, that's a haircut. I'm not doing that."
Wait till middle school. I was like, "What?"
Dang.
I was like, so I waited till middle school, and then once I got into middle school, that's I got introduced into football, and I got introduced into the weights. That's when they was like, "Hey, let's go work out. We're gonna show you squat, bench, and deadlift."
You fell in love with it?
Not at first. I was like, what, I was intrigued at first. I was like, "Oh, what is this? These weights, and this clanging and banging and
clanging and banging." Okay.
And I was like, the bar. They was breaking everything down. Hey, this is a 45-pound plate. This is a 25. This is a 10. This is a 5. And this is a 45-pound bar. And they're breaking doing the basic stuff. And they're like, all right, now we're gonna squat. Now we're gonna bench. Now we're gonna do this.
In my mind, I already hate you because I know you hopped under that bench press, hit 405.
No. I was doing like 3 something. The only competition. The only person who gave me competition was my homeboy, Jolson. RIP Jolson, man. That's my boy. That boy was squatting like. He was squatting like 450, like 400 pound squat. Like, cause his calves was like freaking huge. He's a big dude too.
A big dude. He got the fat boy calves.
Yeah, he had them fat boy calves. So every time he squat, them calves give him like a little spring.
The calves said rocket.
Yeah, they give him the springs and he'll bounce back up, and then they'll like nothing. And I try to do it, and I'm like struggling. I'm like, how the hell?
They say obesity is a problem, bro. Being a fat kid though, and then losing some weight, that do some good.
Yeah, man. But he was obese, and that was like our little competition, and people would be around just like, hey man, you gonna get him out? You gonna get him? I was like, I'm gonna try.
I'll give it a shot, I guess. I don't know. Fucking PR.
Yeah, but I think my main focus was the football. I was like trying to get into football, like, oh, I need to do football. I want to go to pros, and that's the American dream or whatever you want to call it. But it didn't work out how I thought about it. But once I got in high school, I fell in love with working out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and someone told me about getting into powerlifting, but I didn't know what they were talking about.
But I remember walking into Deviant Strength and seeing you for the first time, like hitting some crazy ass numbers, and I was like, "Damn, that's a big. I got to be his friend." I definitely don't want to be his enemy, dog. Let me go be his friend real quick.
Right? No, man. No, man. But I fell in love with the working out, and then the training in the gym, and I don't know when I started powerlifting. I started powerlifting like 2017. I got introduced into powerlifting 2000, but I was in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Gotcha.
And I was working out at Lake Charles powerlifting gym.
Nice.
And then that coach, guy named Coach Freddie, he was the one that got me into the powerlifting, and he fixed my form and everything, and everything got kind of pretty good.
Standard,
probably got good standard. And then once I got a little decent, then he was like, hey, let me get you into competition and all this other stuff. And all right. I was like, I'm just about working out. And he's like, no, just do one competition. You're gonna fall in love with it. And then I did my first competition, and then the rest was history.
Yeah, man. That's all I always tell people, like, dude, just go do a competition. They were like, oh, I want to wait till I get ready. I want to wait till I hit this bench or this PR. And like, nah, just jump in. Because nothing motivates you more than like seeing the competition and feeling that adrenaline rush, And then, and once you get technique down, your work capacity goes up through the roof, so you can really push some volume and get some gains, right?
Oh yeah.
So once technique is good, I think you're good, man. But yeah, falling in love, there's nothing like that first powerlifting competition, man.
No, it's not.
Now my coach was like, don't worry about weight, don't worry about nothing, just show up, have fun, and that's what we did. We had fun. And my first competition, I beat the guy in my weight class at the very last deadlift.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I had to go up so that I forced him to go up, right? And I went up and I got it, and we were banking on the fact that he wouldn't make it because I made him go far up. I want to make him PR. So he went to take it, and then he failed it. And there's a video of my coach going crazy on the side of the stage as he fails it, dude. Oh, man. And I love that video. I always watch it back because that's motivation right there. Coach is just like, yeah, it's like celebrating somebody failing.
because he knew you got it.
Yeah, because if he didn't get it, I won first place. And the fact that he dropped it, he started celebrating because he already knew I'd locked in first place, right? That was his last attempt. Yeah, dude.
Damn.
It was crazy. Yeah, and that was back in 2020, 2021, something like that. Yeah, dude, pretty recently.
Damn, that's pretty crazy, man.
So you got into lifting for athletic purposes, right? For football and stuff like that. I was in football too, but I was in football and band. I would play football, and then I would go halftime show and do the marching thing with my saxophone. And I'd come back. So I wasn't big on sports. I think I just did sports to be a part of the community, right? Because I had a bunch of friends and stuff like that, dude. I really didn't get into powerlifting heavy until like after like I got divorced and I was like sad and like depressed. Then I started getting back in the weight room and you start to feel good about yourself. You know, you get that adrenaline, you get the serotonin boosting.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started looking out for an actual powerlifting coach. That's when I met my coach, Brandon Petrie. Shout out to Brandon. He just made worlds, man. Oh,
good. Shout out to Brandon, man.
Yeah, man. He just he got his ticket secured. He's going to Lithuania. Yeah, Lithuania. Such a random place, but yeah. It's too close to the Ukraine for me because I don't know, man. It's a war going on over there. I don't know if I want to get that close.
And isn't that a USAPL?
No, it's IPF.
Powerlifting America.
Yeah, Powerlifting America, exactly.
Yeah, man. I think I'm doing Powerlifting America this year.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Nice. In Columbus, Ohio.
Oof, nice.
Yeah. Didn't you come back from there?
I did. I was at the Arnold. I was handling another friend of mine, Z. He was competing at the Arnold.
Oh, damn.
Bro, let me tell you about that experience.
Go ahead.
Crazy, dude. I walk into the back room, right? And I started powerlifting coaching solely because I started watching all of Steve DeNovi's videos. Steve DeNovi is a great coach. He teaches some of the top athletes of the world, right? I started watching everything that he starts putting out. And one of the videos that he has is how to make a side business powerlifting coaching thing, and he walks you through everything you need to know, right? How to program, how to charge, how to like set expectations, all that stuff. There's 3 hours of content, right? 3 different videos,
right?
So 9 hours of content. Anyways, I started watching all of this stuff and started learning from like the best coaches, right? And Brandon's my mentor, and he always teaches me a bunch of stuff and always motivates me in that regard, right?
Yeah.
But I grew up kind of in the powerlifting world, looking up to all these guys, right? They're like the top coaches. And then I get to the Arnold and I get backstage and they're all back there handling their athletes. And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying not to fangirl at this point. You know, I need to be like, hey, I'm one of them. I'm not a fan. I'm alongside them, right? Like I'm here as a coach. I'm not a spectator, right? So I had to like sweaty palms and shit, play it cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
At one point, Steve comes up and he's like, hey, man, is this your first national competition? I was like, nah, man. No, I've been here, you know. He knows damn well I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
But it was nice, dude. Steve DeNovi was back there. Sean Noriega, David Wilson, Marcellus was back there. Just a huge amount of like USAPL coaches that I really looked up to, and I was like, dude, this is like the time, right, to be serious, to be seen as an equal, and all that. And thankfully, my man Z did really, really good. I was handling him for my coaches on my coaches team, the best strength athletes, right? So it was a great opportunity, man, just to be back there and see how like, you know, like you're in the kitchen at your favorite restaurant type of deal, right?
Oh,
like,
damn.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
man. It's amazing to see how people carry themselves, how they talk to you, how humble they are, right? Like you wouldn't think like people like Steve and all that have world athletes the way they talk to you, like, you know, like your homies, they just chop it up.
Yeah.
You know, talk about everything and anything.
That's cool. That's good, man. That's good. I ain't think, you know, the word athletes and stuff would be, you know, you would think they're douchebags, but once you actually get to know them.
Nah, man, they're so cool. I mean, the community, I think, for powerlifting is so good. Everything has its bad sides, right? So you'll meet some people that are kind of standoffish, that don't want to be open-minded on new approaches on things, because kinesiology hasn't changed. You know what I mean? The movements are the same. Like you're still going to do the same thing. So it's hard to make new content on stuff that people have been talking about for centuries, right? Like it's hard. So we find new and interesting ways on how to adapt for different psychologicals for athletes, and, you know, just things like that. But it's awesome, dude. I love the community of it, and I think that's really what drives me, is like helping people and people helping us, right? Like I stay in Steve's DMs. I know him to shit, but he still replies and he'll give me advice, and so will Petrie and everybody else that I kind of reach out to. When you have that many coaches in your corner, it gives you a better sense of like, hey, I know what I'm doing and I'm capable, because imposter syndrome is real, right? Like there's a point where you're just like, man, do I know what I'm talking about or not? You know, like I tried something and it failed to this athlete. You try something else and it failed with that athlete, and you're like, damn, do I know what I'm doing or do I not know you know what I mean? Like, and having those, like that support system to like reach out and be like, hey, I'm having this issue. What would you guys do? And I have all the coaches come back, some coaches that coach world athletes, right? To be like, hey, this is what I would do, and this would be my approach and stuff like that, right? Anytime I reach out to to Petrie or Z or any other of my friends, Kyle, all of them, like they're super supportive.
Okay.
Yeah, and like that's all it's about really, is like trying to support the athlete at the end of the day.
Yeah,
not necessarily putting my name on them, but just making sure that they're happy and they achieve the goals that they're willing. You know?
Yeah, and I think most of your athletes they're achieving their goals, right?
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's great to see. I mean, I got to a point recently where I'm like, I take more pride in them getting all their successes and accomplishments that I kind of put my training on the back burner, just like, nah. So recently my coach is like, nah, man, we need you to lock in. You know, we need you to worry about you too. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's a hard balance to do.
Yeah, it really is, dude. It really is, to try to keep your goals in line, right? But it just gets so exciting to see all your athletes like achieving all their goals, and they set out a milestone like PR, and then they nail it really easily, right? Or see them fail some weight in training, and then see them do really well in competition with it, right? But yeah, man, I have 18 athletes right now, and they're all doing pretty great.
You're coaching 18 athletes?
I'm coaching 18 athletes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn.
And I'm capped at 18. For a while, I was capped at 15.
Yeah.
But it's really like the first 3 months of you bringing on a new client, a new athlete, where you start looking at every like technique as a whole and making these small changes, right? Like,
yeah.
If it's comp standard, can we load it, right? And stuff like that. If it's efficient. And the first 3 months are really what is going to be really time consuming to get to know that person, to build a relationship back and forth, to see what works, what doesn't, really build a good mesocycle that you can kind of repeat, and then a microcycle you can repeat.
And then this is your process this is your process thinking as a coach for a new client?
Absolutely,
okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So usually what you do is like I will let those 3 first months go by. We'll build that relationship, make the changes we need to, and then after that, we have a pretty good repeatable program with predictability on when they're going to be strong, right? That last week of the last block. And then after that, you just rinse and repeat, and you keep doing that until it doesn't show any more results, and then you go back to the drawing board and try something different, right? But those first 3 months are really the most time consuming. So as long as you add people in those 3-month increments, like you add 2 people, let 3 months go by, and then you can add 2 more people, let those people settle in, and then you add 2 more, like that, right? You can keep kind of scaling up and growing the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've learned a lot being a coach, and organization is one of them. Time management is another. Balancing out like your relationship, your coaching career, and then your full-time career, right?
Yeah.
Is a task within itself.
Oh yeah.
And it's a skill you got to practice, man.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the balancing act.
Yeah, man. And life comes in waves, dude. You know, you got to survive the lows, celebrate the highs, and just keep going.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, man. Just the whole balancing act of your career, then training, then being a coach, and then doing this, doing that, and then the third, and then your content as a social media video content creator.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, man, that's great. 18?
Yeah, I have 18 people so far.
What the? Damn, that's a lot of people.
Hey, shout out Team Be Strong.
Hey, Be Strong.
Be Strong.
Yeah, man. I don't want to be personal. How much do you charge to coach?
Right now, I'm at 150 for non-students, and then 130 for people that are in college or higher education or chasing any type of technical skill, right?
Okay.
So as long as they can give me a schedule, I'll put them at 130, and it's 150 for non-students.
Okay. You make a contract and shit like that, or what?
I don't make a contract, but I do require them to like at least stick with it for 3 months, right? Because at 3 months, I think is the time that it will take us to get the technique down and for them to feel confident under the lifts. And I think if I can get them past those 3 months, then we're looking at a really long-term relationship. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any contracts, something like that. If anyone doesn't want to be on, like, nah, you can at any moment you can pause and leave. Like, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you like, oh, you don't pay me my money. I ain't teaching you shit.
I'm like, hold up,
Tins.
Hey, but once you teach them, you can't really take it away. So what are you gonna do? Right?
Yeah. No.
That technique that I do. You know what? Don't ever squat like that again. Don't let me catch you squatting like that again, bro. I'm gonna
man. I know you catch coaches like, I don't know, everybody coaches different and stuff, and it's I don't know. The powerlifting world is kind of weird in a way.
It's weird, man. And I think what makes it weird is people's egos and people wanting to be like, oh, hey, I thought of that, or I thought of this, right? And like, it's not about that. It's about helping people, right? And you have to understand, like, as a coach, what's more important is how you get along with your athlete and that relationship that you have. If y'all don't click, nothing's gonna really like work.
Hell
right?
no.
If you, and that's why a lot of my athletes have similar interests of me, right? Like they like rap. They're probably like, you know, from some minority heritage, right, or whatever. We get along really well because we're both like funny and like we're serious, but we know when to like kick it up a notch, like all that. And those little relationships really matter because that solidifies like just any advice you have to give them, they're willing to listen because they vibe with you. They see a lot of themselves in you and stuff like that, right? If you have a coach you don't really respect, you don't really get along with, you guys don't have same interest, it becomes harder to make that connection.
Yeah,
right?
and y'all always like beefing and shit.
Yeah, and y'all be butting heads, right? And then you'll be like, hey, try this, right? Try not tucking your elbows as much on bench or whatever. Like,
man, shut up, coach.
Yeah, man, I don't know. You know, this guy. And it's harder coming from a place where I don't have a really impressive total, right? I don't have like any accolades of like, oh, I've won world championships or I've won like, you know, this and that. And that's why I gravitate towards Steve the Novi so much because he isn't your typical powerlifter. You look at him and you're like, oh, that guy probably can bench 315, right? But he knows a lot of technical things. He knows a lot of like technique-wise, volume, programming, everything. He's the expert on basically, you know, everything that comes as far as programming-wise.
Right.
So even though he doesn't look like it, he knows a lot. And at that point, he's getting paid for what he knows and not what he does.
Damn.
And that is where you need to get in life, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, you don't have to go out there and put yourself through the meat grinder to tell him how to make it, right? Like you can just do it yourself, and then the product speaks for itself. Like his champions speak for themselves, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Damn.
So
that's some deep shit right there,
man.
man.
It's crazy, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like as long as you can help people, dude, and that's all I've ever wanted to do, and that's why I'm in healthcare and IT in healthcare, right? Because
that makes sense.
I've always wanted to help people with whatever I can bring to the table. And I was really good at computers early on as a kid. I knew that was going to be my future. I just didn't know how I was going to use it to make money off of it, right? So whenever the opportunity came to use my technical skills in healthcare to help the people that are helping people, then that was a perfect opportunity. And I feel like that's what I'm doing now with coaching, right? Like there's a quote from this anime, Blue-Eyed Samurai. You ever seen that?
No, I heard about it.
It's on Netflix. It's great. You should watch it.
I'm gonna check it out.
But the main character has a sidekick, and it's like some little fat guy that looks like Kung Fu Panda, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I know I'm not destined for greatness, but I want to be along greatness, and I want to help greatness succeed.
Damn.
And that's what coaches do, right? It's not about me. It's about you making sure that you achieve greatness and all the goals that you set up, you conquer, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it should be. Too many coaches out there are posting an athlete and being like, oh, that's all me. That's me right there. That's some good programming right there. Like, no, bro, you're behind a computer typing the shit out, right? Like,
yeah, man.
The guy on stage is lifting that weight. He's watching nutrition. He's watching his weight. He's making sure he gets 8 hours of sleep. He's getting his water in, right? Like he's above all the life that they have. They're also achieving this in the gym because there's no money in powerlifting, right? So you do it as a hobby. You dedicate your life in a way to it.
Yeah.
For what, right?
And it's a lot of passion and love in the powerlifting
You do
work.
it because you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's a lot of love right there.
Yeah, and that's a lot of love because aches and pains come and go, and you got to fight through things in training, and it really shows true grit and determination, right?
Yeah.
And humans are amazing, bro. Like, we can do some amazing shit. Artists are crazy. Like, the body is capable of so much, and I love that. And I love being aside greatness, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so do you feel like you being beside greatness, it rolls over into your greatness as a person, as tennis?
Absolutely, dude. I surround myself with go-getters, man. I surround myself with people that go out and make things happen, right? Not people that let things happen to them, right? So everyone in my close friend circle is a go-getter. Like, they're constantly pushing the envelope. They're constantly, setting goals and crushing them and looking forward. I don't really associate myself with people that are like couch potatoes, like just don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you're just taking up space. Like, you're just paying taxes, bro. Like, you just out here, like, you need to be able to motivate people and get them up and see. Because I think if everyone had someone to believe in them whenever they're not strong enough to believe in themselves, I think that goes a long way.
God damn.
And if I do anything in this world, that's what I want to do.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's some impactful stuff right there, man. I know it is kind of challenging, and to do all that stuff, and then you don't know if you're feeling like you're motivating anybody in any type of way, but it sounds like you're making a huge impact in what you're doing as a coach, and as a coach and a mentor towards your athletes and towards yourself as well. Yeah, man. And that's pretty dope, man.
That's crazy.
That's badass for sure. So, man, and And another thing, I forgot my train of thought.
No, it's okay.
Basically, going off subject on the powerlifting world, and what about the whole emotionally maturity?
Yeah, man. As a coach, I feel like a lot of my athletes are juniors, right? They're teens, they're juniors, they're people younger than me. My average athlete is 24, right? And being a coach, you're teaching them a lot about, like, first of all, communication, how to communicate back and forth, right? A lot of people are really bad at communicating, especially in person, because nowadays we're keyboard warriors, right? We're behind a keyboard, we can talk tough or whatever, but it's really hard to have an open conversation with someone and be vulnerable, right? And be like, hey, look, I messed up, or hey, I missed a session, or hey, like, nutrition's off, or whatever away. And I'm teaching people not only to, like, be better athletes, but be better humans, right? Like be compassionate and be empathetic and be vulnerable and, like, listen and, like, be able to take feedback and then what you do with it, right? And I think that's a big part of the coaching part. Like, you're not just a powerlifting coach, you're a therapist, you're a listener, right? Like, they vent to you whenever things are going bad, but they're there to celebrate when things are going good. And those are the things that kind of drives society forward.
Right.
You know, like, a lot of young men today are afraid of, you know, just being vulnerable and being out there and putting themselves out there, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
You feel like they gotta have that macho, status. They're like, oh, I'm tough all the time.
Dude, especially in lifting, bro. Especially in lifting, right? Like, you'll have the people that are like, oh, I'm gonna, about bang my head on this barbell, get blood. You know, like, dude, you don't got to be that tough. Like, you don't need pain to be strong. And I think that is a huge, like, you need to let go of that pain and do it because you love it and do it because it makes you happy. Don't hang on to that pain and use it as fuel to, like, hit a PR. Right? Like, you need to be able to talk about things and be vulnerable. And, like, I tell the kids all the time, like, dude, that's what love is. Love is being vulnerable. Love is giving somebody the opportunity to completely fuck you over and just hoping they don't.
Damn.
Right? And that's what it is. And people are afraid and people put up walls and it's like, oh, I can't. If I open up myself, I might get hurt. Yeah, you might get hurt, but that's worth it.
Yeah,
right.
And that's a learning lesson.
Yeah. And it sucks that you get hurt and people take advantage of you or whatever, but you learn from it, you grow stronger, and then you keep moving forward. You can't let it jade you.
Yeah. Do you feel like that jades a lot of people?
Absolutely, dude. I think people get hurt and they put up walls, right? And they're just like, hey, I can't trust anybody else because that pain was too much to go into again.
That makes sense because, I see people in the gym, they come in and, like, wave and stuff, and they put the headphones and they don't say shit.
Yeah, they're dark, mysterious, right? And it's like, and you wonder, like, man, what's that guy? What's he gone through?
Damn,
you know what I mean? Like, what has he gone through? What battles are they fighting in silence that they could use a friend? Yeah, they could use someone to talk to about it. Right?
And that's guys and females too.
Yeah, man, everyone fights battles. People walk around like life isn't hard. Life is hard, bro. And no one knows how to get there, and everyone's trying to be happy. No one knows how to get there. But I've learned that life is just enjoying the passage of time.
Right.
If you can just enjoy time passing, like, you're okay. You're better than most.
Oh, yeah.
But in order to do that, you have to have people you can count on and people that you can vent to and people that don't judge you, right? And people that you can really just be yourself with. Yeah, I think that's important. Being yourself has to be, like, top of the list.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest part for people, to be themselves, because they like, myself is not good enough, so I got to be.
Yeah, I got to be what that person wants me to be.
Right.
So they can hang around, so that I'm not alone.
Right. And like, so now they doing, like, off the wall shit.
Yeah.
And doing some crazy stuff to get, like, oh, look at me, I'm doing this. Like, oh, that guy's cool, but he's, but that goes a long way. And then when, down the road, they start to realize, like, oh, damn, I should have just been myself. And
because you would feel happier, right? You would be more fulfilled if you found somebody who really fucks with you when you're being yourself. Like, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Oh, right? Yeah. You can find anybody to fuck around with you if you are exactly what they want. But how long can you keep that up? That's exhausting.
Very exhausting.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're yourself 100%, and I feel like I'm always myself 100%, and I'm not always right, and I'm not always funny. Like, sometimes I'll say some shit and it just won't be funny. The person does not find it, you know what I mean? Or I'll put my foot in my mouth, or because I like making jokes at people's expense, and I have a way of making them laugh with me and not at them, right? And it's a way of feeling, like, included and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll say stuff and it just don't come out right, and I have to apologize. Like, hey, my bad. Like, I didn't know that was the line. I see it drawn. Like, I'm good, right? But we got to stop walking around like life isn't hard and people aren't going through the same, like, issues, and that misery is only something that you understand and nobody else does, right? Because life's hard, right? If someone says something that you don't like or rubs you the wrong way, especially if they're close to you and you're trying to build that relationship with them, friend, partner, whatever, you need to be able to have that discussion with them and be like, hey man, like the other day you said such and such and it really hurt my feelings. Like, was that your intention or not? Right? Like, and that's what I'm talking about, being emotionally intelligent to do that. Kids these days are going to be like, nah, that guy laughed at me. You know, I'm not ever going to talk to him again. Like,
he tried to clown me in front of all these people.
Yeah. Instead of talking to him and being like, hey, dude, when you said that shit, it really hurt my feelings. Like, was that your intention or were you trying to be funny? Like, I need to know, right? And they'll be like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I won't do that again. Like, I was just trying to be funny and I apologize. And now you grow stronger together because you're able to, you know, jump those hurdles together as a team, and it grows you together. A lot of men out there are just like, nah, I'm going to write this shit by myself because I'm tough. And if that guy says anything I don't like, he's out. He's dead to me. Right. And like, so what, you have 9 cats and live by yourself? Right. Like, what are you going to do? Right.
That's true.
You can't go along life. Like, it's human nature to want to connect with people your age, right? Your surroundings and stuff like that. So being alone just ain't it, man. Be yourself. And then the people that do want to fuck with you are going to stay, and the people that don't are going to leave, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Right. It's
you just kind of learn and adapt to it.
Yeah, man. But if you're not happy by yourself, you're in bad company, right? Figure out why.
Yeah, I feel like you can't travel the world. You can't, like a lot of people say, you can't travel the world by yourself. You can do everything by yourself, but
gotta be lonely as hell.
You'll be lonely as hell, be exhausting. You feel like this is the way life's gonna be, but it don't have to be like that. You can find a partner or a couple of friends to just chill and go through this journey together.
Dude, there's so many people on this planet, bro. And the odds of us being here today and everything that had to happen at exactly the right time, dude, if gravity was a little less strong, like we would die, we would freeze, right? If it was a little more strong, we would hit too close to the sun and we would all burn, right? Like, so the odds of you being here today are so small that the odds of you finding someone who is like-minded when you're yourself has to be there. Dang. Right? Yeah. You're going to find somebody who thinks like you, whether that's weird or not, right? Like, be weird, bro. And I hate when people are like, oh, that's so cringy. You're being cringy, blah, blah. Like, bro, it's not for you, right? Like, be cringy, bro. Be you. Be who you want to be. And the people that fuck with you are going to stay around, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
But I hate when kids are like, I don't want to try because that's cringy. You want to try and become not cool, right? Like, try, be cringy, and like, put stuff out that you love because you love it, right? Act like it's your diary. You wouldn't write in your diary and ask somebody if they like it, right? True. So you shouldn't put out content like that. You should be yourself, and you should be 100% authentic, all right? And now people take that to the extreme, and they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to be an asshole because that's who I really... Okay, well, if you're an asshole, like, figure out why, right? Right. Figure out why everybody irritates you. Figure out why, like, everything that the world has to offer is making you miserable, right? And talk to somebody about it. But you got to be emotionally intelligent enough to know there's a problem and want to fix it. But walking around angry all the time, just saying, yeah, bro, life's limited. Yeah.
So basically, for the person who's being closed offish, it's up to them to change it.
They gotta want it. Damn. They gotta want change. Yeah, you can take a horse to water, you can't make him drink. Ooh. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're doing everything you can to not change, you're just gonna be miserable forever. And people like to be like, oh, well, it's not me, it's everyone around me. They got to change. Or I'm just being... I'm like, nah, bro, you're being angry.
And it's on you. Yeah. And their only option, they try to blame everybody else except for them.
Yeah, because they have no other way. And you go around blaming the world for like how you feel, and you want the world to change around you, but you're the one that really needs to change. Damn. Yeah, man. I'm a big advocate of people having therapists in 2024, bro. If you're a man out here and you like, man, because growing up Mexican and being a man, like watching my dad go to work and put his boots on every day and being this macho man, right? Like, I was always taught, like, don't cry. Don't be a sissy. Don't be a girl, right? Don't show your emotions. You can be a man and you can be strong and have emotions. Yeah. Like, we're human beings, bro. And you having emotions doesn't make you less of a man. You being able to control them, I think, makes you more of a man, right? Knowing when to turn them off and on. Right. Knowing when to, like, check in with yourself and be like, hey, look, why am I irritated? I'm just hungry, right? Like, you know what I mean? No, that's true. Yeah, man. I just recently found out, and my girl, you know, she's my better half, and she always will tell me, like, hey, you just need some food. Like, I'm not being too much. You just need some food. And I'm like, damn, you're right. Okay, it's me. And
then once you eat, you're fine.
And then once I eat, and everything that was annoying me before no longer annoys me. And I'm like, okay, she was right. Yeah. But you need someone to check you like that. You need a friend, a partner. You need someone to be able to speak to you and be like, hey, look, you're doing too much. Or you know, you need to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense, man. My wife, she does the same thing. She checks in on me because she said, "Man, you're doing a lot, not in a bad way." She just say like, "You're doing the podcast, you're doing YouTube."
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, but
she'll check in on you like that. She'll be like, how are you really doing? You know
how you doing? Like, is this too much? Is this overwhelming? Or like, how you feeling? How's your body feeling from the powerlifting stuff? Training. I'm like, everything feels good. I just be nonchalant, be like, it's cool. Yeah. But like, how you actually feel? I'm like, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like you interrogating me and stuff, but all this stuff. All this stuff was because of her, and like, cause I always wanted to do stuff like so the pop. She told me to get into the podcasting. I was more into the camera and the YouTube and Instagram. Video stuff and photography.
Bro, I got a face for podcasts. I don't got a face for video.
Yeah, man. So it just, like, and I see your videos on IG. You like, hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Tennis. We about to deadlift 5 something, boy. We in. I'm like, oh, hey, my boy Tennis out here wilding. And then you start.
Bro, it's just me being myself. And I feel like if I can be myself, I can motivate other people to be themselves and get out of that shell.
Yeah, man. Right? And it's fun to watch you because you're dancing before you deadlift and shit or squat. You're like, hey, what's up, baby? It's your boy Tennis. I'm like. And you all in the camera and shit. I'm like, what? The boy, hey man, why you so close?
Bro, I'm loving every minute of it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I take a lot of joy and it fills my heart to be like. And
I see the trend. I seen like your girl doing it too. She dancing in the background.
She's my backup dancer.
And everybody, and they see other people in the distance like, hey.
I put her in there to get more views. I'm like, hey, come over here, shake something real quick.
No, but I see the energy traveling to each person, and then like each time you post something, you see like different people doing it.
Yeah, man.
And you're like, oh shit, that's pretty dope.
Dude, it can go a long way, dude. Just being yourself and then being unapologetically yourself allows other people to be themselves. Right? Yeah, to be like, oh, he's not getting judged. I can be myself and not be judged too, right? Yeah. Like. Have fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone likes to be serious in powerlifting, and I know it takes like you got to get locked in, you got to like be in mind, and all that, and I get that, right? But you should have fun the majority of your training, bro.
Oh yeah, you can look forward to it. You can control that.
Yeah,
you can control when to lock in, when to not lock in. Yeah, and you can lock like me and you can shoot the shit and like, hey, hold up, Tennis, let me go knock out this squat.
Exactly,
and then. Boom, lock in, do what you got to. Hey, man, talk about this shit, boo, and go back to shooting the shit.
Yeah, man. Because I'll be dancing and twerking and shit, and then like when I get underneath that bar, I'm like, okay, it's time to, lock in. I go through some cues in my head, and I just, hit it. Then afterwards, get right back to being me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like it's just.
Yeah, but they got some people that just like serious the whole time.
Oh, they're like, don't talk to me. Only eye commands, right? Like sign language only. Like, dude, I was at a meet recently, dude, at the Texas Barbell Syndicate. Went to Rodeo Open. I had a couple of athletes competing there, and I was handling people and stuff. And I was in the back, and I was in my own little world, right? Yeah. And I had a lifter next to me who was about to go on stage. And then Ride Around With That Nina started playing. Ride Around With That Nina, right?
Yeah.
So I started yelling it really loud. I was like, that Nina, right? And the dude next to me took his AirPods out and he's like, hey, man, I'm trying to lock in here. And he put his AirPods back in. I said, oh, my bad, big dog. Go ahead and lock in. I didn't know you were that close to me. My bad. Like, I was just vibing to the Nina here,
I don't know how I would take that. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'd have better been to say, oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, man, my bad. Right, go ahead and do your thing, right? And then he went up there and, like, smashed his third, and he got drug tested and everything. Really strong cat. And then he came backstage, and I was like, hey, man, great job locking in. Sorry if I threw you off with my name, but I think the reason you got it is because I yelled that out at the beginning.
You made it into a positive. I like that.
I like that joke. He was just like, I don't know you, right? He looked at me. He looked at me crazy, and I just laughed and walked away. But the vibe I got was like, bro, I don't know you. And I was like, I get it. You don't know me. Yeah. I like to pretend that I've known people for a long time.
Yeah. I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people because, like, my homeboy Trey, he's 31. He was, asking. I asked the same question yesterday on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And my boy Trey, shout out to Trey Hop. He was saying that, how do you make friends as an adult? And I was like, I don't know how you make friends as an adult. I told him, I think you make friends at the early stages as elementary, middle school, high school, and then hopefully y'all stick together and then go through the journeys of life.
Yeah. You know what? My cousin was talking about that. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you good.
My cousin was talking about that, and the friends that you have growing up with, you guys went through the same life changes together, right? And you went through the same kind of struggles together, and that's why you're so bond to them. It's because you had those new experiences together. You had those new, like, you know, I don't want to say trauma, but you had like the growing up and the struggle of growing up, right? The being picked on, the bullies, whatever.
Your day ones, man, they seen everything you went through.
Yeah,
they seen your whole life.
How many friends you got from back there, from high school?
It used to be 12.
Damn.
But they dropped. Two or three dropped out. And they don't talk to us no more. I don't fuck with them. But right now, I got my homeboy Josh Vargas, Josh Rich, Trey Hopkins.
I'm putting the whole government name out. Okay.
No, this is my boys.
Give me the socials. Hold on.
Hector and Drew.
Okay.
And then that's my about like 6.
That's a lot, bro. You got a lot of friends. I'm fortunate.
This is from high school.
Damn.
Yeah, this is my high school buddies, and then the ones I picked up in powerlifting is Leon, Marshall, Weston, and Wolfman.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, so it's a little handful.
Bro just flexed all his friends on me. I got like one friend. I got one friend that I had from intermediate school, bro. We hated each other.
God damn.
Yeah, we hated each other. I was the second chair saxophone player in band, some band drama, bro, some band nerd shit about to go down. And he was first chair, and I hated him because he was better than me at the saxophone. I ain't gonna lie. I was lying about it back then, but I've made peace with it since. He was better than me, you know? So we just didn't like each other. Yeah. And then we were into the same girl too. Yeah, and it was like back and forth trying to,
it sounded like you was fighting with yourself.
Yeah, man. And then so one day we just got in a fist fight, bro. Like one day after school, we got up at the bus stop and we said, you know what?
Let me find out you dropped the saxophone. You know what? Fuck this shit.
We dropped the sax, started throwing hands. Yeah. Man. But I'm telling you, bro, we fought for it felt like an hour, bro. It felt for a long. You know how you're heaving and shit? We're both laying in the grass looking up at the sky, both just like dude, hey, no one hit nobody, right? It was just like a bunch of like wet noodle fight, you know?
All right.
But then I remember like breathing really heavy and I turned over, I looked at him, I was like, you good? And he said, yeah, I'm good. You good? I was like, yeah, we good. We got up, dabbed each other up, best friends ever since.
What?
Yeah, ever since we became best friends.
That sounds like a damn movie,
bro. I'm telling you, I think that's the oldest friendship I have, like over 15 years now, dude.
Yeah, man. Mine's about since 2007, 2006.
Damn, yeah.
My 6 friends I got right now.
Yeah, dude.
And the rest of my friends is like in the powerlifting world.
Shit, dude. But I agree. Making friends as an adult is hard. And the advice I give people that are trying to get more friends is get hobbies, dude.
Yeah.
Like what do you do that you like to do for fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and then go do that. Like pickleball is really big right now. Like go play pickleball, right? If you're into, I don't know, painting, go find some painting studio and be a part of that. Be a part of the community. Yeah. Whatever it is, but you need to get out of the habit of going from working home, because that shit could be really lonely.
Yeah, it does. It does. No, that's why I asked you the question about that guy, and he said he didn't know you, and then that could have been your friend right there.
Exactly. Yeah, but the way he came up, he was just like kind of off-putting. I was like, nah, it's cool. I have come to the conclusion that I come off very heavy-handed, right? Like I'm a big personality. I cast a big shadow, and sometimes that can be what people like, and sometimes it can be people hate. You know what I mean?
So you can be a bit too much.
Yeah, we gotta read the room, and and I know I can be a bit too much, right? I'm not for everybody, but that's okay. Yeah, because I am a firm believer that people come in and out of your life at a perfect time, right? On purpose. Yeah, to either teach you something, to teach you patience, or teach you how to be more empathetic, compassionate, how to be there for a friend, whatever it may be. But people come in and out of your life on purpose. It's not an accident. There's no way it can be an accident. Yeah. Right? Like the coincidence that we're both in the same town, in the same gym, at the same event, at the same whatever is very, very slim, right? So I believe like people are put into your life at a certain moment to teach you something, or maybe that's just destiny and that's your time, right? Yeah. And then people leave whenever they no longer serve a purpose in your life, and you got to be okay with that. Yeah,
that's the biggest change, is being okay with it, and then at the same time learning the skill to how to make friends.
Yeah, man, because nobody likes to lose, and I think whenever someone leaves your life for whatever reason it may be, it feels like a loss. But it's not a loss. It's like, hey man, you had all those memories with that person.
It's a lesson.
Yeah, it's a lesson.
Yeah. I think you get a lot more in your losses than your wins.
I think so too. And I think if you only look at the losses, it can look like life is terrible, right? Yeah. But the other thing goes around too. Toxic positivity is a thing too, right? You can't just walk around being super positive all the time and not like really feel what you're feeling, right?
So your energy, is that like every day?
Yeah, every day.
The energy, like, yeah, man, my boy Tennessee.
I mean, I got some days where I'm like beat up from training or whatever. Maybe anxiety is a little higher, stress is higher, right? Like I was talking about earlier, imposter syndrome kicks in sometimes where you just don't feel like you belong in the room that you were put in.
Yeah.
Or you might not have worked for it, or you might like, I get a lot of crap for not being a full-time powerlifting coach, right? And people are like, oh, well, you're going to do this on the side and then go back to your job that's unrelated to this field and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to help people.
Yeah, man. You can still work your 9 to 5 and still do what you love at this. Yeah, everybody think like, oh, you got to be a full-time power. Like, no, fool.
Nah, man.
Full-time powerlifting not going to pay the bills.
Yeah, there's no money in that.
No, man.
There's just no money in it. And there is guys out there that are full-time powerlifting coach and they're struggling to get clients because of that influx of like all these new coaches that are coming out. And I think it's on the athlete for sure, dude. Like if you got a coach who's competed once and just started powerlifting last month, like, and you hire him, that's on you. That's not really on, you know, like a lot of people like to come down on the coach and be like, oh, he shouldn't be coaching. Well, everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're going to have that. When I started coaching, I was coaching 4 people for free for over a year just to learn. And I got people from all ends of the spectrum, you know, heavier weight classes, lightweight females, like all of that, because I know it's different training, all of them, intensity and all that, right? Like it all matters. Just lightweight females can recover faster upper body, right? They can handle more intensity. They can be pushed more on bench press. You got to keep priming it a little bit longer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bigger dudes, they get beat up for bench press. If they're shaped like you and they're huge on the top, right? And you're benching 485 regularly, like that's going to add some fatigue compared to someone who is smaller, has smaller upper body, and they can recover faster. So yeah, man, all that's important to know. And like, you have to have different ends of the spectrum. Sometimes the best coaches will have very similar athletes because they're really good at that one specific weight class and that type of person, right? And that build. Okay. But to have a roster that has a bunch of different people and you adjust based on not only their weight, but their psychological, you know, how they believe and all that, right? Like just mentally is also a big aspect of it too. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. That's some good information, man. Yeah, That's good information for sure. I think we talked about the negative stigma about the negative processes and emotions of the powerlifting world and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I felt like we knocked out everything that we talked.
Yeah, man. I think we covered everything pretty much. I think we just wanted to talk about like not being negative and being more welcoming to beginners, right? Like you see somebody out there, 52 kg, brand new lifter, like go be nice to them. Right, like go offer them some encouragement, right? Tell them to keep going, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people like to look down when they get to the top and be like, oh, well, that guy's only lifting such and such. Everything's heavy to somebody.
No, everything is heavy. It may look easy, but it's still heavy.
Yeah.
If you're a beginner or an expert, it's still going to be heavy. Man. But, you know, from the outside looking in, do you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do as a human being?
I feel like I feel like the only reason I was ever put on this world is to help other people. And when I was younger, I thought that was just making people laugh because I think laughter is like the best medicine, dude.
Did you ever thought of being a comedian?
I did, dude. And I don't know if I have the courage for it, but I want to. I really do, man. Because
I come see you.
Bro, think about this, right? No matter how bad of a day you're having, no matter what's going on in life, if I can make you laugh for a split second, you forget about all of it. And you're in this bliss for just that second. And I feel like that's all you need is a little glimpse of hope that life is going to be okay. And if I can make you laugh and forget about everything for just a second, we win, right? And you're like, oh shit, there's the sun just for a second, right? Because where there's rain, you know, you need rain to grow, but sun feels good, right? So it's like, if I can make you laugh for a second and forget about how miserable life is or forget about the job or forget about whatever, I think we've won, you know? And like, and that's why growing up, I was always like the class clown and always trying to make, you know, everyone laugh around me. And like, and sometimes it got me in trouble. Like I said earlier, like I like to make joke at people's expense, but you need that relationship in order for it to come off as like it being funny and not you making fun of them. Right. So yeah, man, if I can just help greatness, I think I'll be fine.
Hell yeah.
Everyone wants to be remembered when they die. Right.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that I help people along the way, man, like die with memories and not things. But you know,
and you feel like that feeds your soul, helping others.
It makes me really happy, dude. It really does. I think I'm like my mother in like a caretaker sort of way, where like I feel good by helping other people, and it drives me and it fills me with a lot of joy. And I think that's all you really want.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, as long as I can make people and I can help people hit their goals, whether that be a powerlifting or just like a friend in general or whatever, like I am your biggest cheerleader if I'm your friend, right? I want to see you do better. And a lot of people want to see you do better, but not better than them. And I'm not that way. I want to see you do like the best you can possibly be, right?
Yeah.
And like, dude, watching Brandon yesterday compete and secure his ticket to Worlds, bro, I was like above the moon. I was like, oh my God, this guy did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is amazing. It's amazing to see, right? And like, anytime people hit PRs or whatever, it fills me with that same amount of joy, right? And maybe it's I'm starting to, as I'm talking, I was like, man, maybe it's like egotistic or maybe it's like selfish to be like, oh, that's how I fill my cup. But I don't know. It's good. It's a lesser of evils.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's a good thing, man. 'Cause I know you have different perspectives on how to approach things for yourself, and you do those different things, like, oh, I'm doing it for me, or I'm doing it for a different cause, but you're doing it for not just for yourself, but you're doing it for you serving other people to make sure they're happy and reach their goals and everything else. Yeah. So you can fill your cup of happiness. Yeah, man. I like to make everyone feel like they're somebody. Yeah. Right? I don't know what's going on back there. They moving a lot of stuff. Let me see if this is gonna work. Let's see. No, but oh shit. Sorry. Oh no. So I like to finish this podcast off with like, do you have any positive affirmation for any listeners that they can take away from this episode?
If I got any advice to tell the younger people or anybody in general, is people might forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So make them feel welcome, right? Make them feel like they're somebody. Anytime someone walks into the gym, I'm the first person to greet them like they're a celebrity, bro. Damn. Like I'm the happiest I've ever been, right? And it's like that puts you in a great mood to know that people want you around, right? And I think it makes a big difference as people, like mentally. Yeah, it could be the difference between someone continuing the struggle and continuing to move forward, right? But yeah, man, be positive out there. Hell yeah. You heard it first, listeners. My boy. Tennis shoe ninja. Hey, man. Said just to be yourself, be positive, and find a way to serve others so you can pursue your happiness as well. This is a great episode. Everything's been really good. Been really, really juicy. I appreciate you for coming on the podcast. Juicy, okay. Coming on the podcast. Give me that. Appreciate it for coming on the podcast, man. Man, you gave a lot of insight of who you is as a person and where you coming from, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you taking the time to do it. I appreciate you recording my rambling, big dog. Nah, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good in love, and yeah. So appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to the episode. We love everything that you do. Please stay motivated. Please stay hungry and can keep crushing your goals. Until then, peace, love, and positivity. And we're out. Bye.